Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm here with Pat, our new regional manager, which is quite cool. And we're just going to have a little bit of a chat today, a bit of an interview, figure out what's going on in the dive industry. Pat took over as our regional manager earlier this year. So Pat, if you can tell us, what's it been like, man?
Sure, it's been hectic. I started on the 1st of June.
Yeah.
And I left South Africa on the 1st of June to go and do training in Bristol. Yeah. I was there for 2 weeks, and basically since then and today I've been on the road for 4 and a bit months. So it's been a bit hectic.
Cool. So you've seen lots of dive centres?
I have. I've got close to 270 odd dive centres in my area, which is sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to visit them all to go and say hello as an initial kickoff. It's far easier once you've had a personal meeting with somebody to then email them and chat with them, that you know who you're dealing with and that they know who I'm dealing with.
So on the ground, eh?
You've got to be on the ground, and yeah, it makes a difference. I enjoy it, and I think the dive centre owners enjoy it when I come and visit them, and the staff enjoy it. I know. I've actually been amazed at how many people were following me with all the technical diving I did. So even on the last visit down Seychelles, I was at a dive centre and somebody came running over. Oh, Patrick, and oh, follow you on Facebook. I can't believe it's you. And it was actually quite amazing. Oh, and he's just a diver who had come across me diving, and that was pretty cool.
No, that's awesome. So now tell us, when you're out on the road, a week in the life of, as you travel around, because the guys don't have an idea. We've dealt with it from our side. People have discussed it with us. You know, the regional manager, what does he do? You never see him. So, like, give us a week. What do you do?
Okay, so obviously in the beginning I've worked out a schedule where I'd like to be, and so I have that schedule. So what I'll do is sort of in the week or 10 days prior, I'll start emailing the dive centres I intend visiting and just tell them I'm the new regional manager and I'm coming to, whether it be Joburg or Durban or Mauritius or Seychelles or Zanzibar or wherever I'm going. I'll email all the dive centres there and try and set up appointments with them prior, and then give myself sort of 2 weeks to shuffle those appointments around so that I've got appointments set up.
Cool.
Then a lot of travelling, so obviously I'm going to get to the destination.
Yeah.
I'm based in Durban, so it will be off to an airport, fly. Flight times vary, usually the first night in the hotel, and then I try and do 4 dive centres a day visit. Each dive centre visit will take between 2 and 4 hours, depending on the dive centre. So I generally leave the hotel at about 7 in the morning, and I get back at about 10, 11 o'clock at night after the last visit. So it's quite a full day.
Out on the road, in the hotels, back on the road. How many days have you spent at home since you
I actually added it up with my wife the other day. Since I left on the 1st of June, I've been home 10 days.
Sorry, Celeste. That's amazing. So now with that, you're travelling around so much time in the hotels. So something I want to know, how does someone like you stay fit on the road? Because there's got to be constant eating out, constant restaurants, constant...
No, I actually try and avoid it, because otherwise it's, you know, you can't eat out every day. So I actually, you can look at my bag there, I have my collection of diet shakes. So I wake up in the morning, if there's a gym, then I'll go off and cycle or treadmill for 45 minutes or an hour, come back, have a shake, and then a diet shake. And then head off to my first visit. Sometimes if some of the dive centres do invite me for lunch, then I'll do lunch, which will be a salad and something light, and then I'll have a shake in the evening. So otherwise you'd be eating out 3 meals a day, and that would be very
Any home cooked meals, eh?
No. Well, I was fortunate now in Seychelles. I met up with mates. It was a public holiday on the Monday, so they invited me around for a braai. So that was quite nice. My first braai in quite a while.
Cool.
In the Seychelles. So it was.
So there's the hints. Pat needs more home cooked meals, actually. We got it all sorted. And then other thing is to find out, diving when you're out there, man. Do you steal a dive every now and again? Are you able to do that?
I've gone from diving every single day of my life. I mean, last year I did last year I did 284 technical dives in a year, and 180 of those were below 60 meters.
Yeah.
I've gone from that in the last 5 months. I've done 2 dives. So I got a dive in PE, and I actually got a dive in Seychelles because it was a public holiday, and all the dive centres were so busy that they didn't want to make a meeting with me. So the resort that I was staying in, the dive centre there, invited me for a dive in the national park, and it was actually amazing to be in the water again.
It's cool.
So yeah, it was
it's quite a change.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm there to visit the dive centres. I'm not there to dive for my own pleasure. If an opportunity arises, or it's a weekend, or a public holiday, then most certainly. But I've had 2 dives in the last 5 months.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So, other thing we want to find out for you is just your role as a regional manager. We get it quite often. People asking us, I'm sure you get it. Is how and where do you fit in? What are you doing in the industry? What are the proper channels? So, give us your role as the RM.
But most people think I'm there to check up on them. So when they get an email to say I'd like to visit, they immediately think I'm coming to check up on them. And that's not the case. I'm not the quality assurance department. If you're not diving with a snorkel, well, that's not my department. What my role is business development. I'm here to grow the diving industry. If the tide is high, all the boats float. We want to, as PADI, grow the diving industry. We don't want to take away from it. We want to make it bigger. And how do I do that is I try and make your dive centre more successful. So what I'll do is prior to your dive centre visit, I do an analysis of your dive centre. I get all your statistics, all your certifications from the day you open till where you are currently. I have a look at the trend on how you're doing. I go and analyze your website. I go through your website. I go through your social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I then use either the PADI locator or Google Earth to pretend I'm a customer trying to find you, to see if I come at the right or arrive at the right spot. And then I chat with the people in the dive centre and the owner and manager specifically to see what their goals are and what their aims are and what they're trying to achieve and what they're hoping to achieve, and then I try and assist them in those goals and aims. I also then suggest things to them that they can improve on, things that they're possibly not doing quite right.
An outsider's point of view.
Exactly.
They would see it, how you can fix.
And then I help them grow their business, hopefully. I also then tell them about products that they might want to use that they're not currently using. I ask them about how they run their courses, the makeup of their clientele, and having run a big dive centre myself, as well as now being on the road and see what's happening in other areas. You've
seen so many dive centres. You get to see so many. What works in one, implement it in the other.
Exactly, and then I try and give them advice. And I most certainly, since I've started until now, I'm amazed at the turnaround and the growth that's now taking place. People have become excited about diving again. They've become passionate, and it's actually incredible. Just the other day, I was at another dive centre meeting, and I walked out and I bumped into somebody from another dive centre. He came running over to me to come and shake my hand and say, "Oh, all those changes I did on the website and on Facebook, we're now getting queries through the website. We're now getting interaction on social media. Thank you. It's made a hell of a difference in this last few weeks in our business." So
you're there to assist the dive centres. You're not the PADI police.
I'm not the PADI police. I'm there to grow their business and help them grow their business.
New, fresh ideas.
That's it.
Perfect. That's amazing. And then, so you mentioned there the dive centres. When it comes to independence, because there's a lot of independent instructors out there, your role as the RM to support an independent instructor. How does PADI and the RM handle that?
Most certainly, we'll give support to the independent instructors. From a my point of view, point of view, it's really difficult to reach out to the independent instructors because we don't have. They're not registered as a centre, if that makes sense. So it's pretty easy for me to say that XYZ dive centres at this address and I'm coming to visit you. Whereas a lot of the dive instructors tend to either freelance, as in work for multiple dive centres, or they work on their own, but it's a word of mouth type of business. And it's very difficult for me to find them. Whereas they're more than welcome to get in touch with me.
Well, that's the member forum. The
Yes.
annual member forum is where the guys get together.
And if they have any questions or they think, I daily get emails from independent instructors asking advice, asking about certain things, certain products. So I'm there to support them as well. Except it's more difficult for me to come and visit them because they don't really have a fixed address, if that makes sense.
But then to clarify, there's proper channels in place. If it's sales related, there's a sales department in the UK that handles
Exactly. I'm here for business growth and growing their business. And if it's a sales question, then either through the resellers or directly through the sales department. If it's a training question, directly to the training department. And in fact, if I do get training questions, I try not to answer them, even though I know the answer, because
there's a channel.
There's a channel. And so I'll refer them to the training department or whatever department.
So when they don't hear back from you, it's been sent to the proper channel.
I usually include them and say, hey, this is the person you need to chat to, and forward the email. So I make a point of replying to everybody's emails. Cool. It might not be immediately because I'm in the air somewhere or visiting a dive centre, but within a day or two you'll get a reply, most certainly.
Well, that's cool. That's amazing. Other question I've got then is plans for the future, because you've been in it now for a few months, you're going to be doing it for many years. Next year, you've now been out to see everybody, you've done those initial meetings, now it's the follow-ups. What's the plans from your side, PADI's side, to grow as we move forward?
I think what's important is that, and I'll take the South African market first of all, is unfortunately South Africa has been very insular the last, for a long time. And we've tried to grow the local market and our local divers. But when I compare what South Africa's got to offer to the rest of the world, we undervalue ourselves and we don't market ourselves as we should.
As an inbound destination.
As an inbound destination. Yeah. You know, we by way of an example, I was in Seychelles now, and an average course price is anything between, for an open water course, anything between 7,500 rand and 15,000 rand for an open water course. They don't teach any locals. They're purely an inbound European market, and the people pay the prices. There are a lot of dive centres that have a local price and an international price. A double tank dive in Mauritius, Seychelles, Zanzibar, you're in for 2,500 rand for a double tank dive, and you don't see a fraction of what you'd see on a South African dive. You don't see sharks, you don't see
the biodiversity that we...
Not at all. And we have dive charters charging 200 or 300 rand for a dive.
Yes.
And if you book a double tank, they'll give you a discount. And
that's with all the sharks off the south of Durban. It's amazing.
So I think my aim is for South Africa specifically is with where our exchange rate is at the moment, with what's happening in other parts of the country, what's unfortunately happening in Egypt, is South Africa has to be an amazing destination for people to come to. We have the stability, we don't have any radicals, and we have amazing diving. And once people get here, it's for free, compared to what they're paying elsewhere. And so that's my focus, which I've already started.
To grow the inbound, to grow the industry.
To get more people coming to South Africa as a destination.
As a whole, for training, for travel, for everything. Well, you did right. We carried from Cape Town to PE to Aliwal Shoal up to Sodwana, all in Mozambique. It's a phenomenal place. Well, that's cool. Well, awesome. Pat, question I've got for you. All the places you've been, you've travelled around a lot. Your favourite spot, man. The favourite country, the favourite place that you've seen. I'm going to drop you in it now.
Sure. There's no place like home, but I really had a really good time in Zanzibar. The people there are very friendly. The Swahili language is almost it's almost like a joyous language when people speak.
When they say Jumbo, hello,
Jumbo,
everything's happy.
Everything's happy. So Zanzibar was quite special. But every country's got something. I was in Seychelles now, and the Creole food's very big there. So I tried Creole food, and that was awesome. Mauritius, the Mauritians are very friendly.
No, you're going too much, eh? No, we know. Zanzibar's a place we can't ask about the diving because we know you didn't dive there. But that's amazing, cool. Well, perfect, Pat. I appreciate you coming in to have a chat to us. That's cool, and we'll catch up soon. So thanks for watching our little video. We'll have another one for you guys soon. Thanks so much.